project, I had an 8 by 6 inch frame that I had picked up at a garage sale. The back of this was a little different, so I had to actually cut that part off with a razor blade and remove the backing. And I was able to remove the glass, cleaned up the glass, then took clear ELMER'S glue and put it around the perimeter of the back of the frame where the glass would sit. And then when I tried to put the glass back in, I couldn't get it in. That frame, outside of the frame was in the way, so I actually ended up pulling that backing off also, and I think some of it stuck to it, and I ended up having to use the heat gun to reactivate the glue and get it all removed. So then I was able to put the glass back in, and then I took ELMER'S glue one more time and put that around the perimeter of the inside of the frame, this time on top of the glass. So the glue serves two purposes. It holds the glass in place, and it also helps to prevent any resin leaks when you put resin on the top of it. So I decided I was going to cut an ornament out of stained glass. This stained glass I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I am not an expert stained glass cutter, but I did learn how to cut stained glass on YouTube. And if you want to learn, it's a great resource and it's free. So what you do is you can find a pattern online just by Googling free stained glass patterns, and tons of them come up. And you cut it out, and then you put it on your stained glass and you trace it out. Now this is a stained glass cutter, and a lot of people put the oil inside of the stained glass cutter. I actually dip the cutting tool into the oil, and this actually scores the glass. And then you take something called your running pliers and you squeeze them, and it breaks the glass. It actually breaks the glass. Now there's a little bit more to it than just that. That sounds real simple. And like I said, you can learn more if you want to watch some YouTube videos. So I just follow along the traced line, and what I use to trace that is permanent marker, and the permanent marker does come off with rubbing alcohol. Next, I use the nipper tool if it doesn't get into the corners real well, and I just kind of nip away at it, and the nipper comes in real handy. I also have a sander out in the garage that you'll see me use on the stained glass to smooth it out, but you don't necessarily need to have that. This is a little more detailed pattern, so it's harder. And then the top of it isn't real flat, so I just use the little nipper tool to flatten that out a little bit. Next, I get out a piece of gold stained glass for the little topper of the ornament, and I trace that out and go ahead and cut that out. This is a little bit more detailed than somebody who's just beginning, but like I said, there are very simple patterns that you can do, like the Christmas tree that I did on the other one, but I just thought this was really cute. And then next I take it to the grinder, the stained glass grinder, and you just go along the edges to smooth out the edges that might not have come out exactly how you wanted them. And like I said, you can pretty much make it look good with the nipper tool, but I like to have it nice and smooth, so I took it out to the garage to sand it down a little bit. After you're done sanding them, you have to wash them off real good, and then I clean them with rubbing alcohol to make sure I get all the marker off. So next I took the frame, flipped it over, and took painter's tape and put it along the perimeter of the back of the frame to help prevent resin leaks. Even though we have glue on it and painter's tape, you still need to do it on a protective surface underneath when you're working with resin. Next, I was ready for the resin. So I pre-mixed this resin off camera. It is art resin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio resin. And you mix it very slowly for about 3 minutes to prevent any bubbles. And I put it on the glass first for this project, and then I just smoothed it out with the spoon. And it's important that you push it up into the corners and along the sides. I use the heat gun to get the bubbles out, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the piece of stained glass down on the resin. But the first thing I did was I took these rhinestone chains. They're 4mm rhinestone chains, and they're red and the metal that it's sitting in is gold, so I thought that would be real pretty. And I cut 3 of them. You have to use a heavy-duty scissors to cut them, but they do cut pretty easily. And I put 3 rows of them on there, and I thought that would look real nice. And then I just went ahead and I set it right down into the resin. And then I took the little top, the gold top, and put that up there. And then next I took a 2mm rhinestone chain and cut that and put that as the little hanger at the top. And I have a hard time centering stuff, and I think this might be a little bit off center. I think I moved it over. And then I drizzled some of the resin over the top so that everything was sure to be held in place. And I do like the resin over the top because I like everything to look nice and shiny. And then I use the little torch again, kitchen torch, to get rid of the bubbles. Use the toothpick to move the glass around. And then I'm done. These to sit on a flat level surface overnight at temperatures between 72 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. After about 12 hours you can touch it. It takes a full 72 hours to cure. All resins are different. You need to read the instructions for your resin. It's in your best interest to cover it with a dust cover when you're done. Okay, another small Christmas project. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Very simple stained glass cutout. This might be a little bit more difficult than the one Christmas tree, but if you're just starting out in stained glass, I'm trying to show you some of the basics and that, but I'm not an expert at cutting stained glass. And there are tons of videos, people who, you know, cut stained glass for a living, do mosaics and all that kind of stuff, and they have some great videos out there showing you the basics and the tools that you need. I'm kind of trying to touch on it, and I'll try to show more and more as I go on. But for the meanwhile, there are a lot of YouTube videos out there about cutting stained glass. And I thought this was just a really cute idea. I'd seen some of these on, I've never seen stained glass in resin. I've looked at tons of stuff on Pinterest, but I have seen a lot of stained glass ornaments. But you know, the stained glass ornaments, they have to put the foil around it, and then they solder it and all that business. And this just looks so simple to me. And then with the little 4mm rhinestone chain, I thought that would add a little bit of something to it. I thought that was real cute. And I don't know, I thought this would make a great gift, a great hostess gift, someone having a Christmas party. Anyway, just an idea. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel. If you want to be notified of future videos, go ahead and subscribe and you'll be notified. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.